In this video, you will learn how to get off major probation and the difference between being on continued probation and being disqualified from the major. When reading about SJSU policies, it's important to understand terminology that may not be clear to you. For instance, you will often hear different GPAs, such as overall GPA or major GPA. In this case, depending on your specific probation, you will need to understand which GPA you must raise. For students on major probation, their goal must be to raise their major GPA. This includes major-specific classes and prerequisite STEM courses such as math, physics, and chemistry. Now, the big question is, how do I get off major probation? As stated in the first video, there are different reasons you may be on major probation, all of which show a record of not making good progress towards graduation. However, getting off major probation can take more than one semester, in which case you can be on continued major probation until you have raised your major GPA, passed the critical course, or shown you have taken and passed major-related classes. If you do not show progress, then you could be disqualified or DQ'd from the major. To explain continued major probation and disqualification, I will explain 3 scenarios or alternate realities related to a student whose major GPA is below a 2.0. Okay, in scenario 1, the student is in good standing in the fall of 2017 because his major GPA before this term is above a 2.0. As you can see in all the preceding semesters or terms, the student maintained their major GPA. In scenario 2, just like in the first scenario, the student is in good standing. However, unlike scenario 1, this student's fall 2017 major GPA fell below a 2.0. This means the student is on major probation in the spring of 2018 and cannot register for the next regular term, like fall or spring, until they have completed some requirements. And I will go over that in another video. Okay, in fall 2018, the student's major GPA is still below a 2.0. Luckily, their overall term GPA is above a 2.0. Because the student showed progress by maintaining their semester GPA or term GPA, the student is on continued probation. This cycle will continue until the student finally has a major GPA above a 2.0. Scenario 3 begins like scenario 2. However, unlike scenario 2 in this alternate timeline, the student's major GPA is still below a 2.0 along with their semester GPA. This is a record of not showing progress and could be grounds for disqualification from the major. If you are in the unfortunate circumstance of being on university and major probation, you could be disqualified from the university. Note that freshmen with a GPA of 1.5 to 1.99 are allowed a second semester probation even if they don't raise their term major GPA above a 2.0. Also, in the case of some major departments, failing a critical course more than once may be grounds for disqualification from the major. So in these examples, ME 101, failing it a second time, or EE 98 or Chemi 190, are some examples you can talk to your major advisor about, and you can discuss other important classes in your coursework that may have a similar effect on you. Again, probation means you are in a danger zone, and the next step might be disqualification. If that happens, then you will be kicked out of the major. This means you will still be an SJSU student, but you are undeclared. You will need to reapply to another major. This becomes a huge problem because most programs at SJSU, especially in the College of Engineering, are impacted. You will most likely not be readmitted to your original major.